What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Wednesday, March 13th, 2019. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the rogue one, Gary Whitta.
Good morning.
Morning, how are you?
Good, late start today.
I know, right? Is there anything worse than when you're doing something and you look down at your phone and it's your bank calling you? And you're like, this is never good.
The bank is never...
They never call
It's not going to be like, oh, we found some extra money in your account.
It's never
always,
the monopoly. It's never the monopoly.
The bank area is never in your favor.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah. Some son of a bitch, maybe daughter of a bitch, maybe person of a bitch, down in Australia, trying to use the Kinda Funny company card to buy groceries. Nah! Feed your own dingoes is what I say. So I had to call, the bank called and I had to talk to them forever
But it's all taken care of?
Yeah, you know how it is. Nowadays, identity theft, it's what happens all the time.
they flag it. They know.
Exactly.
This is why when you go abroad, it's always a good idea to call the bank and let them know that you're going abroad. Because if they suddenly see a charge on the other side of the world, they don't assume, oh, Greg or Gary must be on vacation. They rightly, in most cases, assume that
what I've discovered is
someone's up to no good.
The algorithm, whatever AI is monitoring all of us over there, is good enough that it understands, like, all right, they paid for, they ate, they did this, groceries, Uber. Oh, they bought something at the airport, another Uber. Okay, they're in. I don't get it anymore. I used to get locked out, but I travel so much, they have some kind of weird algorithm that
they know
figures
that
out.
you're traveling.
But when all of a sudden I'm buying breakfast for Gio Corsi on Sunday, and then guess what? In Australia, suddenly I'm buying
And let's face it, the people at the bank are probably watching Kinda Funny. They're like, wait, Greg's in San Francisco doing his show.
Exactly where
he can't be in Australia.
Outrageous, yeah.
Something
impossible.
must be up. Used to happen to me a lot. It hasn't happened in a while, but there was a period of a couple of years where there was like a fraud alert on my credit card almost every couple of months. And it's really annoying because although they catch the fraudulent charges, they have to issue a card with a new number. And then you have to update your card and everything that you used to pay for. It's
just retina
really
scan
annoying.
me on everything.
Seriously.
Get me there. You know what I mean? Take my fingerprint, put a chip in me, as Kevin always says.
Yeah, just put a chip in my neck.
Exactly. I don't care. Whatever you want. Just digitize everything and be done with it.
Yeah.
Gary, most important, it's a huge day.
It is
tons of news today.
Oh, big news today.
I
don't know because on top of everything else, the printer is kaput. So I've got no show notes. I've got no idea what's in the news. I'm going to learn it as you read it out.
We've gone over our printer woes at Kinda Funny for a long time. I'm not going to blame this recent thing on Joey, but it's Joey's fault.
I mean, it's clearly Joey's
When
fault.
Kevin and I switch out the ink, no problem. I came in the other day, the printer was pulled all the way out into the middle of the living room like somebody's doing a seance around it, and then we got another printer in the other room, Joey's using it for t-shirts, and then all of a sudden this one doesn't print well, and Kevin, what did I say? Did somebody forget to take the plastic off it? And sure enough, you went in there, somebody take the plastic off. I'm just saying, a lot of problems over here.
Broke the entire printer then.
Exactly. Well, that printer sucked and we hated it anyway.
So you've got the show notes on your laptop.
I do.
Now, it's not like I typically do a lot of preparation for the show anyway, but I usually do get to look at the notes at least.
Did you just burp talk at the same time?
I might have.
No, it was Gary.
Did you actually hear that?
Perfect.
I thought it was a stealth burp.
He thought I was burping while you talked, but
it's this carbonated beverage. I apologize to
it's fine.
To the people at home.
It was slight enough that I'm right next to you, and I was like, wait, did you just say R but also burp while you did it?
Gauche. Usually I usually show up here about 15 minutes before the show. As I said to Kevin earlier, you guys don't pay me enough to actually prepare
100%.
for the show. But I usually get like a good 10 to 15 minute window to browse the notes, familiarize myself with the news and formulate, the blazing hot takes for which I'm famous.
These will be the hottest of takes.
These are going to be fresh out of the oven takes because you're going to see that you at home, watching at home or wherever it is that you are in the Kinda Funny cinematic universe, will be learning the news at the same time that I do. So these takes are going to be blazing hot because I haven't had any time to think about it. It's going to be like right off the top of the head what I think about
Gary,
the news.
I'm excited to find out what you think about Master Chief Collection coming to Steam, the Master Chief Collection getting Halo Reach, maybe Borderlands 3 being real and more, because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday on a variety of platforms, we run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about. If you like that, be part of the show, patreon.com/kindafunnygames with your questions, comments, concerns, bad PSN names, and everything else under the video game sun. Then tune in and watch us record the show live, twitch.tv/kindafunnygames. If you're watching live, maybe the show starts late and you get to hear Kevin talk to you and see me in the chat explaining what's going on with my credit card. Also, you have a special job to do. Go to kindafunny.com/you're-wrong and tell us what we screw up as we screw it up so we can set the record straight for everybody watching later on youtube.com/kindafunnygames and roosterteeth.com, as well as everybody watching on podcast services around the globe.
We're off to a good start. How did that even happen? The laptop was just sitting on the table. How did you fumble it?
I went to grab it, and it's so thin. You know
that's
what I mean?
what it is.
So it's like a piece of paper. It could float away, this Microsoft Surface.
All right.
They didn't pay me to say that. Housekeeping. We're streaming The Division 2 Friday afternoon, right after the Kind of Funny screencast. We'll be playing for a few hours. You've been playing. Are you having fun?
I'm loving it. I'm having so much fun with it. I'm just barely scratching the surface.
Yeah,
I think I think I hit level 8 last night.
Ah, nice. Okay.
But as you know, I love the first game.
Yeah.
This one is pretty much more of the same, but with even more so. Like they've added more. There's more depth.
Totally.
More stuff to do.
The environments, dude. Kevin and I were talking about this last night as we did both museum missions yesterday. I was like, holy shit, is this awesome?
We did the mission last night, the American History Museum, where you go through the Vietnam jungles.
I was like,
so much fun.
God, this is incredible. Amazing.
I wasn't sure about the Washington D.C.
You're hitting nail on
when
the
I
head.
first heard that, I was like, really, do I want to go to D.C.?
Yeah.
Like maybe I want to go to L.A. or I don't know, maybe even another part of the world. I don't know.
Yeah.
But now that I'm there, I understand why they set it there. I mean, it's so much fun to go around, to check out the Oval Office and be in I love the idea that the White House is your base of operations.
100%. That when we get to Gamescast, that's gonna be a big topic for me. I think in terms of I was the exact same way of like DC, whatever, and like now that there, it's like, oh man, they can do so much more cool stuff than they could in New York.
It seems like they did a remarkable job of kind of mapping out the whole city of DC. I'm only still in the starting area.
Sure.
It's a huge city.
Yeah.
But they've done a tremendous job with it. I'm having a blast playing with it. It's almost, even just in the first levels, like the first 7 or 8 levels, it's almost overwhelming how much stuff there is to do. It's like, do I do this? Do I do that?
A buffet.
Everything you do hits up a new side mission or unlocks a new character or a new thing, crafting, projects. There's just so much to do that it's almost like you don't know what to do first.
Are you in the Xbox Kind of Funny clan
Just
yet?
joined. So last night I unlocked the character that lets you open up the clans.
Sure.
And I searched for Kind of Funny.
Yeah.
And I joined the clan. I think there's about 15 people in there right now because, as you know, the game is still kind of in early access where only Gold and Ultimate owners get it. Everyone else gets it tomorrow, right?
Yeah. Tomorrow at midnight, right? So yeah.
But if you're but I'll do a quick squad up. If you're playing on Xbox, join the Kind of Funny clan. Just once you open up the clans,
you can search.
Do a search for Kind of Funny.
But remember, we're gonna need 1 million of them. So don't feel free to get into the weeds about it. Kind of Funny LA or whatever.
Right now, there's just one.
Yeah.
And that I think starting tomorrow, you'll probably start to see a lot more.
Sure. Yeah.
But right now, there's a Kind of Funny clan that you can join. I'm in it. Also, you can find me on Xbox. My gamer tag is just Witter.
Yeah.
If you want to play, come join. Last night, I played with a bunch of Kind of Funny best friends, and it was great. I loved it.
Kevin, we got to figure out what we want to do with the Kind of Funny clan on PlayStation, because right now it's you, me, Fran, Scott Lowe. I looked at the invites. It's an invite-only clan. A whole bunch of people have requested invites.
Okay.
And so I don't know how many we want to let in.
Is there a limit on how many people
50.
can be in a
you
clan?
Only have 50 people in a clan.
So you're going to have many. You are, like you said, you're going to need multiple clans.
Oh yeah, no. And on every platform, we're going to need 1 million Kind of Funny clans. Go ahead and make them and do whatever you want. But Kevin, I mean, even though I'm the commander and
did
Fran
you create the clan?
Yeah,
Are you like the administrator
I'm the commander.
of the clan? Okay.
I made Fran a lieutenant.
Okay, what
Scott
does that
Lowe
mean?
is an agent. He's lieutenant's like second behind a commander. That's as high as you can go without being commander.
Right.
Scott Lowe is an agent. We need him to prove himself.
But does that mean that
Kevin is still a recruit.
Okay. As
Kevin
he
is
should
still
be.
a recruit. We need it, but I'm asking one of my recruits here I respect to think about what
do those ranks mean? Do they have like admin privileges over the clan or something?
Yeah, a little bit more you can do here. You go. Okay. So Kevin, think about it. Remember, the KC meet and greet is coming up on March 30th. The New York City meet and greet is April 6th. You can find out about those at kindoffunny.com/events. Remember, if you want to come to the Kansas City one, you do not need a pass. Why would you need a pass? We're at Planet Comic-Con that Saturday the 30th, doing panels with Henry Winkler, Mick Foley, Dean Cain, Tom Welling, Michael Rosenbaum, and a whole bunch of Power Rangers. And then, thank you to our Patreon producers, Mohammed, Tom Bach, and Blackjack. Today we're brought to you by Hims, but I'll tell you about that later. For now, let's begin with what is and forever will be a jam-packed Roper Report.
Oh, a little bit slow there.
Time for some news.
Kevin asleep at the switch.
5 items on the Roper Report.
Oh, Baker's dozen.
I spiced it up. I tossed a bunch of stuff in there that threw off the cadence of how I normally do it.
It felt real weird.
My apologies. I didn't mean to keep...
I was waiting for the cue, and it came, and then I was like,
Was it the jam-packed Roper Report that threw you off?
Baby, words are hard. You know?
Well, I mean, keep in mind, Kevin and I are now on 2 nights of Division 2 brain.
Oh my God! Let me
Where
tell
we're signing off at 1 in the morning, waking up at 6:30. Like,
between the time change where you already lose an hour in bed, and I'm usually in bed by like 10 o'clock. I just like to go to bed early.
Sure.
And I haven't had like that big video game obsession in my life that's been keeping me up late. I hoped it would be Red Dead.
Yeah.
But I was disappointed by Red Dead. I didn't stick with it.
Sure.
I hoped it would then be the Division 2, and so now that I'm totally hooked on the Division. Now I'm playing Division till like midnight at least every night. Yeah. I'm not getting enough sleep.
I know.
But like, it's the only time I can only play after my kid goes to bed.
Gary?
What?
Last year, everybody's getting all excited for all these different games and Anthem and all this jazz. And I was like, I'm excited for the Division 2. So many people are like, I don't know about the Division 2. And I was like, of course not. The one games as a service Greg's excited about, wants to be invested in, is probably going to be a dud. And it turns out it's the best one of all time. I think it's Game of the Year 2019 so far.
I would, so let me say, so games as a service, the loot and shoot games, whatever you want to call this new genre that's emerged, these kind of open world, multiplayer, run around, shoot some people, get some loot, come back to base, craft some shit, go back out again. We've seen, so Destiny started all of that. Yeah. And now we have a bunch of other games like it. We have Anthem and Division, obviously the original Division as well. Destiny, I don't know how. Did you ever get into Destiny?
Destiny 2 I got into.
I got bored. I skipped the original Destiny.
Because it sucks.
Tried Destiny 2 and got to the end game and was just bored. Yeah. Like the mythology in the world did nothing for me. Sure. Anthem I stayed away from entirely because it just looked like more of the same. Sure. And plus, there's been a lot of negative press about crashes and it being boring and broken. The loot system's not working. They've got a lot of shit to fix. Yeah. Maybe in a year Anthem will be good, but right now it's not. And this is the big problem with these loot and shoot games is that out of the gate, they've all cultivated a bad reputation for just not being
They're going to be broken.
They're not ready to play.
Yeah.
But I never had that problem. The Division felt like it was great out of the box, and Division 2 feels like, if there are problems with the end game or whatever, we'll figure that out when we get there. But right now, I'm having a great time with it. And
it's got its hooks in me. It's all I want to do.
What's that?
It's got its hooks in me. It's all
it's
I want to do.
It's got its hooks. I don't want to necessarily fly around another, generic jungle world in an exo suit that Master Chief with a jetpack or whatever. I guess so, but I prefer that kind of grounded Tom Clancy approach. Yeah. Where the weapon, how good is the gunplay in the Division?
The gunplay is amazing. You know what? We're getting off track. That's a Gamescast.
This is turning into a Gamescast.
You're welcome to show up on Gamescast and rant with Greg.
I may have to do a Gamescast.
Number one on the Roper Report: the Master Chief Collection is coming to Steam and adding Halo Reach. This is from Brian Jarrard over at the 343 Industries. He's the community director. Today, we're extremely excited to share two big announcements that deliver on what are easily the most frequently requested asks of our community over the last few years. First, Halo Reach is being added to Halo the Master Chief Collection. And second, the entire collection is coming to PC via the Microsoft Store and Steam. This is an incredibly exciting opportunity for us to bring the Halo universe and Master Chief story to a new audience and to offer PC gamers a chance to step into the franchise on the PC platform of their choice. For the team at 343 Industries, the most important and critical elements of this project is ensuring that Halo, the Master Chief Collection, delivers a true first-class experience on PC. We're embarking on a journey with our community to build an PC experience that delivers on PC gamer expectations. I don't know what that means. I guess lots of turbo tanks. I know. I got to get it in there. I'll stop soon one day. The team is passionately committed to ensuring that all the features, bells, and whistles expected in a modern PC title are included with Master Chief Collection. The Master Chief's arrival on PC will happen in stages, with each title releasing one by one over time, giving the development teams the ability to ensure each one is right, while giving players the chance to jump in right away rather than have to wait for the entire suite of games to be completed. Our current plan is for this journey to begin with the launch of Halo Reach, the fictional beginnings of Master Chief's saga, with the rest of the titles following in chronological order thereafter. Halo Reach, Halo Combat Evolved, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo 3 ODST, the campaign, and Halo 4 will each be available for individual purchase within Master Chief Collection as they become available. And each game will evolve and grow over time with community input. Along with, quote, bring Halo, the Master Chief to Collection to PC, end quote, the next loudest refrain from Halo fans has been to add Halo Reach to Halo Master Chief Collection. And we're excited to make good on both requests later this year. Halo Reach in Halo the Master Chief Collection on Xbox One looks better than ever in stunning 4K/HDR on compatible hardware and plays better than ever at a silky smooth 50 frames per second. On Xbox One specifically, Halo Reach's multiplayer content, parentheses, which includes Forge and Theater, will be automatically included for everyone who owns Halo, the Master Chief Collection, while Halo Reach's campaign and firefight experiences will be offered together as a premium digital add-on. Xbox Game Pass subscribers will have access to the entirety of Halo Reach within Master Chief Collection as part of their subscription. Halo Reach will look and play just as great when it lands on the Microsoft Store and Steam, with campaign, multiplayer, and firefight available for purchase as the first step in this PC journey. How's that sit with you, Gary?
Well, it's great news for Halo fans, isn't it?
Yeah. I was surprised at the reaction this got in Kinda Funny office.
Oh, what was that?
Tim, I know Tim loves Halo, but Tim was super into it. He made sure he ran over and told Kevin about it, who was super into it. you all seem, they were all like, oh man, this is actually a cool thing that Reach is coming to it and getting added to this collection that has been, granted, like we said yesterday, a rocky start, but has been really good in terms of, hey, here are all the Halos remastered and ready to go in 4K and beautiful and, you know, everything you'd want out of these Halo collections.
Yeah, it's always seemed kind of strange to me that Microsoft, which is primarily a PC company, and Halo is, you know, if you associate one, you know, first-party game franchise with Microsoft, it's Halo. That's their flagship franchise. So it always seems strange to me that they never really fully serviced the PC market with that game when they're completely able to do so. I know there have been Halo ports on PC before, but they've always been kind of like half-assed.
This is like the real deal.
This is the real deal.
Wanted,
it looks like they're actually really trying to do this right with all the bells and whistles and give PC gamers the full Halo experience. So, you know, again, if you're into Halo, brilliant.
It brings up a lot of questions, though, Gary Witt, about that future Xbox is always talking about, and we're always talking about on this show. Ignacio Rojas writes into patreon.com/kindoffunnygames and says, top of the morning to you, governors. Today, Microsoft revealed that it would be bringing the Master Chief Collection to PC. But unlike what we would have expected, the game isn't only going to be sold on the Microsoft Store, but also on Steam. With this move, along with the rumors of Game Pass coming to the Switch, and with Project XCloud bringing Xbox games to mobile, it seems like Microsoft isn't very interested in controlling the platforms on which it releases its games. Taking all of this into account, coupled with the fact that Xbox One hasn't been selling all that much, how likely do you think it is that Xbox will just become a third-party developer? Or is Microsoft not willing to give up its ground just yet? As always, keep up the awesome work, Ignacio Rojas.
I think at the end of the day, Microsoft wants to sell as many copies of Halo on PC as possible, and the best way to do that is to make sure it's on, you know, the store that most PC gamers go to. I mean, how many people really go to the Microsoft store to buy their PC games?
Nobody.
I mean, I'm sure some people do.
This is back to the Brad Sams Thurrott articles we bring up all the time, right? Of these rumors that they're doing away with the Microsoft store for games, and they're going to try to just bring Xbox Live to PCs.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a different strategy where they could say, hey, look, finally we have a first-party game that people... I mean, there are obviously other, you know, Microsoft big first-party games, Forza and Gears of War and stuff, but for the most part, again, Halo is above and beyond the biggest, you know, driver that they have. Yeah. So they could have said, I guess if they wanted to, hey, we have Halo, let's put that exclusively on the Microsoft store and have it be a big advertisement to come to the Microsoft store, and maybe we'll drive traffic to the Microsoft store in a way that hasn't been there before. But I guess they decided it was just more important to them to get Halo into the hands of as many gamers as possible. And I applaud. I think it's a consumer-friendly move. Like, I have no interest in going to the Microsoft store. I wouldn't even know how to get there. But I know where Steam is.
You open your Edge browser.
I open my Edge browser and say, hey, Cortana, open the Microsoft store. I guess, would that work? I have no fucking idea. But I like, this is all very positive consumer forward stuff from Microsoft, giving PC gamers like the full bells and whistles Halo experience and putting it in a place where most people will be easily able to get at it.
I realize I get on my, and I know this is going to sound funny if you don't listen to every show, I get on my Xbox soapbox too often, trying to say how cool I think everything they're doing is, how future-proof I think they're trying to make their company, how many big risks they're taking. I think, Ignacio, with all due respect, you're looking at this in a very old-school fashion. In the same way, during the PS3, Xbox 360 era, we were like, there'll probably be one more console generation, then it'll all be over, right? I think what Xbox is doing with this, yesterday we talked about, right, Halo Infinite maybe being a games as a service, something that gets updated and goes on forever and ever and ever. You have to look at it long term in what they're trying to build here. And what they're trying to build here isn't getting away from Xboxes and consoles. It's them building to where the game will be with you all the time, and you'll have no reason not to play that game. Right now, right, when we're when we're in an Uber and we're like, man, I want to play something, you play something on your iPhone. It's not the game you want to play that's on your... You can't play Division or you can't do this. And I'm not saying we're there yet, but stick with me. If they're going to make their games ubiquitous, where they are everywhere and you can play them everywhere and you can log in with the same information everywhere, I really don't think that it discourages you from buying the Xbox. I think it actually encourages you to. If I only own the PlayStation right now and they were saying all this stuff and I was like, this is getting really exciting and really interesting. And at Xbox 2 or when they come out with Xbox Scarlet, they're like, here's all the 13 first parties, Halo Infinite, this game is as a service that's going to be going on and ever, and you can play it forever. You can play it on any device. Suddenly it goes from, oh man, like Xbox has a few exclusives I want to play, but whatever, to being like, oh man, I want to play everything on that, and I want to play it on my TV, so I'm going to buy an Xbox for my TV to play the streaming service on it with the Xbox controller, blah, 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 blah. And you figure Switch will be able to stream Game Pass, but again, that's not going to be streaming necessarily whatever the hot upcoming, this is exactly what Microsoft wants you on. As we get into Project XCloud, I think getting a 4K box underneath your TV is what they want, and they want to be that box, but they just want you to be in their ecosystem spending money, period. In the same way that Valve is so successful because of Steam. Granted, Valve's made a lot of awesome, amazing video games, but right now they make all their money from Steam and have no pressure. If you're playing everything on xCloud, even if you're just playing it on your PC and you're never buying an Xbox, that's bringing in the money to keep it going, to keep everything cycling to where, yeah, they're making the cheap ass streaming box or the super beefy 4K box to put underneath your TV, and that's fine. They're everywhere. They're ubiquitous. They are games. You're using them all the time. I think that's what they're building for. And I think this is just another move to be like, yep, we are everywhere. We are on Steam. Yep, we're on Nintendo. Yep, we are literally everywhere but PlayStation. Maybe we should think about buying our box. Why not, right?
Yeah, maybe so.
We're trying to play nice with everybody. We think this is the future. Well, the same way you and I sit here and talk all the time about how great it would be to bring your Division character over and play in my world and me play in your world.
It really, right now, and I'm going to harp on this again for a moment because you opened the door.
Get the soapboxes out today.
I'm going to harp on crossplay again just for 1 minute. It really pisses me off that, look, I made a decision to play the Division on Xbox because I prefer the controller.
Sure.
I have an Xbox One X where I know the game's going to look great. I played the first Division on the Xbox, so all the buttons are mapped the same way. All the muscle memory comes back. I remember how to play it. Don't have to relearn anything. But it pisses me off because I want to play with you guys, but I can't because you're across the street on PlayStation.
Yeah.
How difficult would it be to make crossplay between Xbox and PlayStation so we can just all play together? It really pisses me off.
I hear you.
I want to play with you guys.
I know.
The
kids.
lure, I want to make this clear. The lure of playing with you guys, the Kind of Funny squad, has been so strong that I seriously did consider swapping over to PlayStation. In the end, I didn't do it, but I was this close.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to play with your squad.
You understand, like, this just shows your lack of dedication to Kind of Funny, and this is why you didn't get a printout today, all right? Fran, who's all possessed with the PCs and the frame rates and the 90 frames per second and the hair physics, he's playing on PlayStation 4. He's sucking it up, you know what I mean?
Well, just because he wanted to play with you guys?
Of course he wanted to be cool. He knew that we'd play on his streams and bring him at least an extra dozen viewers. And now he's all about it. You know what I mean?
Well, let's not forget, because you said Kind of Funny is not just a PlayStation Enterprise. There's lots of Kind of Funny best friends on the Xbox.
I'm just joking around, yeah. No, and I'm glad you're there. I'm glad we have somebody invested in the Xbox.
Someone's got to do it. You need a Kind of Funny representative on the Xbox side because you guys are way, way overloaded on the PlayStation side. So I'm over there flying the flag for Kind of Funny on the Xbox.
I'm glad you are.
Someone's got to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
I am a hero.
I am a hero. Now, I don't know who's going to be invested in the PC audience now to run the PC clans over there.
That's a good point.
No, Fran's not. Don't say that. Don't get Fran out. All right.
He said it yesterday a billion times.
Number 2 is Borderlands 3 imminent. Over on Gearbox's Twitter. They put up a simple image, Gary.
I saw that. They dropped a little teaser
It
image.
is.
Yeah.
If you didn't know, it looks like a high, and I'm just going to describe it for audio listeners. It's kind of got that Borderlands look. Not exactly the Borderlands, but kind of Borderlands-y look.
It's clearly Borderlands.
Well, I know, but I mean, like, it doesn't. I'm saying that art could be like the art from what. This is how Borderlands 3 is going to look, right? Borderlands 2 and 1, you look at that, you know it's Borderlands.
Right.
But it doesn't look as neon, as crazy, right?
Right.
Anyways, they dropped that with a sign for Boston, says March 28th, MA. So it's got the crazy
So there's going to
red.
be some kind of event in Boston on March 28th.
Yeah, it's called PAX East.
Some kind of reveal. Oh, it's
PAX
at
East is there, and then, as usual, Gearbox has a main theater panel.
Okay.
So now the rumor is there. Now here's where it also gets interesting, Gary. What exit are they getting off at?
Exit 3.
Exit 3.
I didn't see that.
Now, is that Exit 3 as in Borderlands 3? Is that Exit 3 as in E3? I would say to both of those, yes. I would say it's pretty clear. Whatever it's going, they know everybody wants Borderlands 3. They know this is their big game to play, their big card to play. You assume that you don't tease this unless it's going. You don't get there and be like, we have another spin-off Borderlands. Not even that. We'd be fine with that. You don't get there and say it's a spin-off card game for Borderlands. You get there and
Borderlands on mobile or something.
Exactly.
You're not going to make the same mistake Blizzard did.
I think you get there and it's Borderlands 3 and it's going to be at E3, more information at E3, and then it's. I don't know when it comes out, but I assume close, soonish, whatever.
Are you into Borderlands?
I loved Borderlands 2. Borderlands 1 I got into too late, and so there wasn't people to play with, so I didn't get it. And then Borderlands 2 I started from the jump and played through the entire thing, and played a ton of it on PlayStation 3, played a bit of it on Vita. I've tinkered with VR, and I want to get back now that they've added
aim. That's right. Yeah,
they added
a
the
bunch
aim
of stuff
support,
to it.
which is super cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm ready for another Borderlands. Alex Russ, Zero Syndicate, writes in to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames and says, Gearbox teased an image on their Twitter that gives the image style of Borderlands. While people seem to think this may mean a tease of Borderlands at their PAX East main theater panel, I was wondering and question whether or not we need another Borderlands. In a world of post-Destiny, Division, Anthem, heck, even Far Cry and soon Rage 2, does Borderlands really have a place in gaming anymore when others have improved so much on the foundation Borderlands had built? Gary, were you a Borderlands person?
I played a bit of it. I didn't really get into it. The world, the tone. I know people loved the kind of the comedic, kind of comic book tone of it.
Yeah.
Wasn't just stylistically just not my cup of tea. But I did admire the game a lot, and I understand why it has so many fans. And
Sure.
I would respond to that question by saying, yeah, of course, there's room for it. I think Borderlands has a huge fan base.
Yeah.
You know, Tales from the Borderlands was really popular as well.
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of people. Again, you look at Anthem, look at Halo, look at Destiny, you know, look at The Division. They're all different in their own ways, but they all have a very serious kind of tone to them.
Right,
what sets Borderlands apart is a very different kind of world, a more cartoonish world, a comedic tone. It does. I do think that it occupies a unique place in the landscape, and I think there are plenty of people out there, and which is obvious from the success of the previous Borderlands games, who will flock to it. I think there's a lot of excitement about a third Borderlands.
The big question about Borderlands 3 or whatever they do with Borderlands next, however it would be, is it going to be a games as service? Is it, because that's what, you know, the question is implying. And granted, Borderlands, you think about Borderlands, it was a looter shooter, but it wasn't an open world shared world thing.
But it was
right?
always, it was kind of, that's an interesting question, because it was halfway towards being that kind of game
Sure.
that Destiny, Division, and Anthem have become. So the question is now, the landscape has changed, and that's now become kind of the new hotness. That, do you think Borderlands will go the rest of the way and go full on into Destiny, Anthem, Division type territory?
Like because if you hadn't played Borderlands, it's online, it's multiplayer. What are you talking about? It was very much that it was a narrative game. It was that you killed things and got crazy loot and did all this stuff, but it was hilarious, right? You talked about earlier of like the Destiny storyline being like whatever, right? Like Borderlands 2, Handsome Jack, I remember this stuff. I remember these characters. I remember these conversations. There's big moments there that I think work out really well, and especially when you bring in Tales from the Borderlands and what they've done with that universe, the pre-sequel, which I also played and loved, Handsome Collection. You get into that, and it's not a shared world. It was very much that Gary stepped into my world, and we ran through my storylines, and then at the end, you could do little raids and, you know, fight monsters together. But it wasn't that we were all going to the hub world, and we were all banding together in this shared story and shared narrative, and there's PvE, there's PvP, you know, it had trappings of what I do every night now with Division, right? But it wasn't that. And so the question is, I wonder for this next Borderlands, are they going to stick to what Borderlands has been of like, hey, no, this is a game where you're playing through your story and you can bring 3 friends in, drop out. They can help you out and fuck around and get loot, but they're not like, you're not going in there and doing the exact same things you do in Destiny. Or is it going to go the opposite where it is, guess what? Here is this MMORPG kind of thing going on where you're in the space and you're instanced with 20 other Vault Hunters and you're free roaming this open world and everybody's going off and doing their own things and you're partnering up. And because I feel, personally, as a Borderlands fan, I think that if you went that way, that becomes a harder sell. What I liked about Borderlands 1, 2, and pre-sequel was here's the linear story we're telling you, you're leveling up, you're doing stuff. It's an RPG that you can have friends with, but it's not go out and do whatever you want in your own order and do all these different things. Because even the Division we're having fun with, right? But like the overall narrative is I'm helping people, right? I'm taking back DC, okay. What's the guy we get the missions from at the White House? I don't fucking remember his name. Save that one woman's daughter, and that's like mission number 1, so whatever. You know, it's like I don't know these people. I'm not connected to these people, and I feel like when you start shoving that in, and it's the same thing people saw with Anthem, right? When you start trying to shove in real narrative beats and threads, which Gearbox has done well with the previous Borderlands, you lose that. People talking about like Fran skipping all the dialogue in Anthem, or when we're playing Anthem and you're feeling like you're rushed to get back into your Javelin to get back out with people, you're not actually experiencing what's going on.
See, I'm different. I want to get invested in the story. With the Division, I watch all the cutscenes. I pay attention. I try to follow.
But like,
I listen to every
names?
echo and cell phone thing. I want to. You know, they put so much work into all of the backstory that I want to experience it.
No.
I'm not like one of these players that clicks through the dialogue.
Yeah, no, full stop. I watch all that too, and I love all that too. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I know there's a guy at the White House who gives me missions and stuff. What's his name? Marcos or Martinez or something? I don't know. Like, he's there and it's cool and he's got a bunch of toys on his map. Yeah, okay. I understand that, but I'm not hooked the way I am hooked when I play whatever. Even Anthem, when I wasn't playing with people and I actually talked to people and listened to their stories and went out on missions and had, I was like, okay, this is cool. I get it. Borderlands was like that, although better, obviously, of going in there, learning who I was talking to, what I was doing. Tiny Tina and stuff like that. Like, I don't want to lose that because we're worried about like Fran going through his goddamn inventory.
No, I hear you.
ReclusiveDragon had a question, patreon.com/kindoffunnygames, and I use question loosely. It's actually a conspiracy theory. Greetings, Gary and Greg. Yesterday, Gearbox Software tweeted a teaser for the announcement of their next Borderlands game with an eyes emoji. Then Xbox replied with an eyes emoji and a gif of a cat heavy breathing caption. Then Gearbox replied with a gif of the girl from Wreck-It Ralph trying to hold her breath. Then Xbox Game Pass replied with a gif of a couple of minions celebrating. Are you seeing the connections here? Xbox used the heavy breathing cat to show that they are excited. Gearbox used the holding breath gif because they can't talk about it. And Game Pass was celebrating because they know what's up. Borderlands 3 is coming to Game Pass. You buy it, Gary?
I think that might be reading too much into it.
I agree. I think it's interesting. Thank you for calling out. I missed this gif exchange. It would be a huge fucking move if that was day and date.
Has there been a AAA third-party game that launched on Game Pass at launch? I know Forza and I know all the Microsoft
all the first-party stuff.
But has there been a third-party game that's done that?
A AAA third-party, no.
Yeah.
I know you said there at the end of third party. Third parties, yes. There have been third party day and dates, like independent developers who have done stuff and put it out. But to my knowledge, kindoffunny.com/wrong, no AAA. Remember what a AAA is?
That would be a first, if so.
Yeah.
But I think I might guess it was just the Game Pass Twitter account getting it on the phone.
Exactly. I think this goes back to yesterday where we were talking about how PlayStation put up a mini doc on their YouTube thing about CD Projekt Red. In Cyberpunk, and people are like, do you think this means it's going to be... No, it's not going to be exclusive. It's just them trying to get you to connect that game with that idea. Same thing with Xbox. I'm sure that, if anything, what that teases to me is that Xbox has an ad campaign scheduled with whatever it's going to be, where you see the... Borderlands 3 commercial, and then it ends with the Xbox logo there and stuff like that.
A lot of belching on the show today.
I did. Mine wasn't loud, but then you belched at the same time I did, which is going to make it sound like I belched. People are going to be like, Greg's belching. I'm like, too. It's not what's happening. All right? It's not what's happening, Barrett. Number 3, Jade Raymond has joined Google Gaming. This is from gamesindustry.biz. Kevin, can you click over and get me the author on it? Sorry, this is when everything happened with the phone. Former EA Motive Studio and Ubisoft Toronto founder Jade Raymond has announced today that she's been appointed to a vice president role at Google. In a tweet today, Raymond announced her appointment by saying, "I'm excited to finally be able to share that I've joined Google as VP." She did not offer further details. This announcement comes just ahead of GDC, where Google has teased a gaming-related reveal. The company has reportedly been working on streaming technology for some time under the project codename Yeti. Raymond brings a wealth of industry experience to her new role, from early roles at Sony and EA to over 10 years at Ubisoft as the founder of Ubisoft Toronto and producer roles on multiple Assassin's Creed titles, Watch Dogs, and others. Back to EA over 3 years, where she founded and oversaw Motive Studios. Raymond departed EA entirely in October of last year as Samantha Ryan was assigned to take over the studio Raymond had founded. I think it's, I would say, extremely obvious she's going over to help out with this Google streaming stuff as they continue to poach people like Phil Harrison and, not poach, I guess, Phil Harrison, Nate Ahern, and all these people are going over there working on Google stuff. Yeah,
Google have obviously got big plans in the gaming space. I think they're going to unveil something at GDC.
Monday I think is their conference.
Very exciting.
They want to see what's up.
I actually happen to know a little bit about it. I'm not allowed to say what I know.
Just tell us
but
what
I happen to know. But I know enough to say I think that what they're going to reveal at GDC is going to be very exciting, and I think that Jade going over there as well makes perfect sense as well. As you said, she's got stellar resume, super talented. Google obviously has huge amounts of cash to throw around to hoover up top talent, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what she does over there and what they do. I can't wait for that conference. Rebecca Valentine, who will be on the show next week during GDC, is the one who wrote that story. Sorry, Rebecca, I meant to credit you on that one. It'll be interesting to see. I'm very, 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 very excited to see what Google comes out and says. It's in new dates, but I'll toss it in here now while we're talking about this kind of stuff. Microsoft, Project XCloud, yesterday in the same conference where they talked about all the Master Chief stuff, not conference, inside Xbox, they confirmed that this year there'll be public trials for XCloud. So that's super exciting because I want to see what that's all about. Number 4, an interesting one for you. It's about Sega and their game Judgement. You remember this one? Judge's Eyes, all that stuff? Formerly Judge's Eyes? Judgment. It was in the Kind of Funny Games
in the
showcase.
showcase? Yeah, I remember. It looked cool.
Sal Romano from Gematsu reports this. Sega has announced a voluntary halt on shipments and digital sales of Judgement, parentheses, formerly Judge's Eyes, in its title in Japan, is in Japan following news of actor Pierre Taki's arrest for allegedly using cocaine in violation of Japan's drug control law. Taki plays the role of Keiyohei Hamura in Judgement. Hamura is the captain of the Matsugugi family, a subsidiary of the Tojo clan based in Kamurocho. In a press release, Sega said, Sega has received the arrest reports and are currently confirming the facts. But for the time being, we will voluntarily refrain from shipments and digital sales of Judgement, as well as other things like posting the product's homepage. We apologize for any inconveniences this may cause customers, as well as other of the parties involved. In a tweet, Sega added, its tweets related to Judgement have also been deleted. Sega will make an announcement regarding its future course of action as soon as the decision is made. Judgement launched for PlayStation 4 in December 2018 in Japan and is due out in the Americas and Europe on June 25th. There is no word on whether Taki's role or arrest will have affect the Western release. It should be noted that when Sega re-released Yakuza 4 for PlayStation 4 in Japan this January, Masayoshi Tamura, one of the game's 4 playable protagonists, was recast to be playable by Toshiki Masuda due to the original actor retiring in 2026 following allegations of cocaine abuse. Then there's an update. The Wall Street Journal is reporting that on Twitter, Sega is currently discussing its course of action regarding a Western release of Judgement, and the decision has not yet been made. At first, I read this piece and I was like, what? People do cocaine all the time. Why get arrested for drugs?
I'm on cocaine right now.
Exactly. And we're not gonna scrub you from every Kind of Funny Games.
Well, ever since you moved the show to 10 a.m., I need something to get me up in the morning. To get going. Yeah, I need a little bump.
Then I was reading the Reset Era thread on this, and so many people were pointing, oh, this is like commonplace in Japan. That this is such a shameful act to be caught and arrested for drugs. That when this happens, and this is totally from the Reset Era thread that I saw somebody talking about this. Well, this happens all the time, and when this happens, if it's a movie star, they'll pull their movies from the shelves and do all this different stuff. And I was like, I had no idea that was part of the cultural norm over there.
Yeah, because when you read that story, it seemed like a massive overreaction. Like, really, you're going to shit can the whole game because one of the actors in the game got busted for using drugs? But that was I was just going in that direction when you seemed to confirm it. That I don't know, but maybe it is that in Japanese culture, drug use is such a big deal that this kind of reaction is warranted.
Yeah. It's totally a cultural thing, and it seems weird to me, but obviously I'm not from Japan.
But they're really going to pull the whole game from sale over this, and maybe not release it in the West.
It's pulled for the time being while they make a decision. You assume maybe they're going to recast the character and patch him out and do that, and I don't know if that would then what you do for game. The game's already out, obviously, in Japan, so do you not sell it till it's ready again? Do you just again, not knowing the custom, is you let it go for a period of time before putting it back out? I hope the game looks awesome.
I can get it if it's like a Kevin Spacey type situation. I understand why they did what they did in those cases.
Sure.
But again, culturally, it's very different. I mean, it's not like cocaine use or whatever is totally acceptable here. But but it sounds like it's much more frowned upon in Japan culturally for this kind of reaction. To be, how they decided to deal with it.
Yeah, it's very interesting. We'll keep you posted. I mean, Judgement looks awesome. That trailer,
it looked great on the showcase.
Yeah, I can't wait. But man, that's an interesting cultural divide between us all. Number 5. Brendan Greene is speaking out about PUBG. When I say speaking out, it means that he's breaking off and doing a thing. I'll let him explain. Here's his post. Players, this is a letter to players. The past 5 years of my life have been all about Battle Royale. From the early days of working on a mod to getting the chance to create my vision for a Battle Royale title, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. It's been an incredible journey, and our game has reached heights I never thought possible. Seeing the game grow into what it is today has been a dream come true, and I can't thank our fans and the incredible team at PUBG Corporation enough. Today, I'm excited to announce that my new day-to-day focus will be heading up a new division of PUBG Corp. PUBG Special Projects. While I'll remain as a consulting creative director on PUBG, development will be led by Taesok Jang, and the fantastic team I've had the honor of working with over the past 3 years. They have some great things planned for this year, and I can't wait to share them with you soon. Going forward, I'll be based in Amsterdam rather than Seoul and focused on building out an entirely new division to focus on research and game development. Online experiences and spaces can connect us in ways I only dreamed about when I first sat in front of a computer some 30 years ago. And it is those dreams of connecting others that is driving our work at PUBG Special Projects. We are tasked with exploring, experimenting, and creating new technologies, tools, pipelines, and gameplay. But for me, it is more than that. Together, with a team of game developers and researchers, we will explore new possibilities of interaction and connection within the game space. I'll also be making a new life for myself in Amsterdam. I've spent the past 2 years on the road meeting so many of you at conventions and other industry events, which has been a fantastic experience, but I missed having a place to call home and a room to play games. So, I can't wait to start this journey with a new team in a new city, play some games again, and see what the future holds. Thank you all again for your support over the last 5 years. Brennan Greene, a.k.a. Player Unknown himself. Gary, is PUBG officially dead?
No, of course not.
Yeah, it's just you wonder what the day-to-day for him was in general, working in Seoul, working as PUBG, became PUBG core, as you might call it.
Yeah.
That's a machine that's running itself. You figure that point. They've brought in enough people that they are there. I doubt he's the one calling the ball, making the decisions, doing these different things.
I mean, I think that, I full disclosure, I know Brendan. Brendan's a friend of mine. I
call him right now. Ask him what he's doing.
Speak to him often, and I think this is the feels like the right move at the right time for him. PUBG, obviously, at this point, is very mature. Here's the thing: people don't give Brendan enough credit. It's easy to forget that Brendan essentially, more than any other individual, created the battle royale genre, which is so popular right now.
Sure.
It goes all the way back to the battle royale mod that he made for Arma 3 back in the day, and then through H1Z1 and now PUBG, Apex Legends, Fortnite, Call of Duty Blackout. All of those games owe their existence, at least in part and perhaps entirely, to what Brendan did in creating that genre back in the day. So Brendan, I think, is a tremendous innovator. Essentially created what is currently now like the hottest genre in gaming. And I think my guess is, I haven't spoken to him about this issue personally, but my guess is that he felt like PUBG has got to a point where, even though the game's obviously going to continue to evolve, it was mature enough that there just wasn't
new maps, new modes. Everybody else can do that.
But the game is fully mature, and I think he feels, it's like anything. You work on one thing for long enough, eventually you want to change. You want a different challenge. And I love the fact that PUBG has been so supportive of him and opening up like an entire new special projects division to allow him to go away and brainstorm and think about like what's the next battle royale? What's the next big
exactly
thing?
That's the biggest thing about it, right? Is that I think when you have companies like this, you have developers like this, you want to give them time and space, right, to go experiment and create. PUBG is going to continue to make money.
Yeah,
it's going to continue to be fine over here. You figure out what the next thing is and experiment and try and create and go. Now,
makes
Gary,
total sense to me.
It is rare that breaking news happens on this show.
Is it happening right now?
So big.
Is it super fresh?
That it, dude.
Is it big?
How on a scale of 1 to 10, how big do you think I'm about to tell you something?
Did something just happen on your screen right now?
Yeah.
This is amazing.
You were wrong.
This
started popping off.
This has never happened.
Let's go.
Give me a clue.
We're going to MarketWatch.com.
Okay.
Where Su Chang has a headline that just says U.S. stocks rise as investors keep wary of Boeing and Brexit developments. And you're like, why would we talk about that? Buried in here, in terms of stock movements and things like that, is one paragraph that clearly doesn't mean anything to MarketWatch.
Okay.
But could change the fucking game for video games. Are you ready for this?
I'm very intrigued. You've set this up well. What is it?
Take-Two Interactive Software stock climbed 4.7% on rumors that Sony, quote, is in advanced board-level discussions to acquire Take-Two Interactive in a mostly cash deal, end quote. That would value the company at $130 per share, according to Joel Kulnia, head of technology and media trading at Wedbush Securities. So Sony is in talks to buy Take-Two Interactive, which means they would have Rockstar Games, which means they would have 2K games and sports and every play. Rockstar could be a fucking pretty much
PlayStation exclusive company.
It could be in that. Granted, we're playing fast and loose with all this stuff. Sony, right? Sony is in talks to buy Take-Two, which then, of course, is Sony also has the branch of PlayStation. It could be a Microsoft kind of deal where Microsoft bought Minecraft and Minecraft still publishes everywhere. You're a giant company like Sony. Do you want to? Are you? I mean, if you're Sony and you buy it, do you care so little about the money that just to spite everybody else, you're like, you know what? No, Rockstar games are only on our platform. Or you have to get a PlayStation 5 to play whatever the next GTA is going to be.
Right.
Like, I don't, that, or are you Sony that is like, hey, we got to take care of our stockholders?
I don't think it's out of our remit here to indulge in wild speculation. That's what we do here.
That's
right?
what the whole show's about,
pretty
especially
much.
when there's random one-paragraph breaking news things from Webbush Security.
Okay, so let's play it out. What makes more sense? Let's say that this is all real. What makes more sense? Continuing to keep... we obviously know that GTA is a fucking monolithic, gargantuan property in video games. It's worth billions. You know, it's never out of the top 10. It's continually making huge amounts of money through GTA Online, Red Dead Online, all of this stuff.
Yeah.
It's just a money printing machine, GTA. It's huge. What makes more sense if Sony suddenly were to acquire that property through their purchase of Take-Two? What makes more financial sense? To continue to allow GTA to be a multi-platform title and get all the extra money from PC and Xbox sales, or to make it exclusive to PlayStation and say, well, now
everybody come to our
if
platform.
you want to play the biggest game, arguably the biggest game franchise in video games, other than what, Mario, Pokemon, there's only a couple of other things out there that you could say are in the same, are as big as GTA.
Yeah. But even that's, I mean, whatever. That's
don't you imagine
argument for another time.
It's one of those things where, like, if I only had an Xbox and this move happened, as much as I might not want to, I would have to buy a PlayStation. Because GTA is one of those games that, shit, well, I gotta play it.
Yeah.
So I don't know what makes more sense.
It's an interesting fork in the road, right, Barrett?
Yeah. I just want to say that. Do you think this is do you think this is a long ploy from Sony to finally make Rockstar make Agent?
Of course, yeah. Of course, that's 100% what it is. They need Agent desperately for this one.
Yep.
It's the thing that. If it was PlayStation acquiring, if PlayStation was on their own, which they're not, right? Then you're like, okay, it's going to be exclusive. It's Sony acquiring it, but then again, it is Sony. Like, if I'm Sony right now, right? I'm like, hey, we've cracked the code here, right? We've sold these PlayStations are the runaway success of the generation. No one's going to catch them in things. How do we make sure and ensure that the PlayStation 5 is that big of a success as well? I think, and I'm talking about my ass, obviously. It's. Xbox has been trying to play catch up, right? And they've been playing nice and doing all this different stuff. Hey, we're going to put Master Chief Collection on Steam. Hey, it looks like Game Pass is going to Nintendo. Hey, we want to be on everybody else's screen, right? I think they try to make it exclusive still. I think they try to keep GTA. They would try to make GTA.
I mean,
if you think
about it, if they kept it a multi-platform, you would be in they would be entering the territory of Sony publishing games for the Xbox, which is unthinkable.
Well,
isn't it?
Now, it is, but then think of it this way too, where we're the way you know better than anybody, the way contracts work, there'd be no. Granted, we know nothing about this. This is a one-sentence story, right? But the deal that 2K has with the NBA and WWE and etc. That has to include, you figure, multiple platforms in the contracts as they exist now.
Right, so that would all have to be reworked.
Even if PlayStation bought it, if they were like, here's the cash deal, cool, you own 2K as of now, it would still be like, cool, we have all these games that have already been going.
Maybe it ends up like MLB The Show, which is already a PlayStation exclusive.
That is, yes, 100%, where that's where it gets fascinating is when the contract does lapse or goes up for renegotiation. Clearly, that we want to keep doing 2K, but now does PlayStation, or does Sony, I guess, want to make it a PlayStation-only title? Fascinating.
God, if GTA went PlayStation exclusive, that would be such a baller move, and I think people at Microsoft would be jumping off the fucking roof in Redmond.
Yeah, but then again, like, here's the thing: yes and no. Because that's a huge loss of not getting GTA or whatever's going to come from Rockstar or anything. The real thing though would be it would also totally play into Microsoft's PR favor. Of hey, literally, we're going the exact opposite way of that. We want you to have everything everywhere. We're trying. If PlayStation would let us, we'd put Xbox Game Pass on there. We want you to be connected to the games you love. And I think you could. I mean, if I could write a stirring speech for Phil Spencer at E3 of just like the other guys are going the other way. They are old thinking. We are not. We are talking about how we are going to get our games to as many of you as possible. We want anybody who has a phone and a controller to be able to play our games. We want to get it into your hands.
Look, Phil Spencer could come out and give a very evocative, very eloquent, erudite speech at E3 or whatever about how we want to put games in the hands of everybody and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But then Sony could just come out and say, yeah, but we've got GTA.
True.
And
You're
flawless victory.
Everybody goes crazy.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Fascinating.
That's it. That's all they would need to do. It would be like the Sony thing, when Adam Boys.
Yeah.
just
This is how
handed
you
me-
share
This
games.
is how you share games. It would be that
right,
kind of like.
Thank you.
Checkmate. Yeah.
Man, just when you thought today couldn't get any crazier, there's that rumor to chew on everybody. Wow.
That is huge. Well, we've talked about what it would mean.
Yeah.
What do you think's actually going to happen? What do you think? What does your gut tell you?
If Kevin walked in today and he's like, I heard a rumor this might happen, I'd be like, there's no way. There's no way. Like, how would that possibly happen? Like, Take-Two, I mean, granted, their stock went down after, and people were like, oh, it was Red Dead Online. And all that shit. It didn't, like, bottom out. How much fucking money does Sony have? What do you got, Barry? You sat down like you had something to say.
I don't think this is happening at all whatsoever.
You think it's just a rumor?
I think Sony might be like interested and be like, hey, like this could be like a cool thing for us. I don't see Take-Two going for it though.
The quote is it. We're in. It
I mean,
is in
but
advance.
Sony is the kind of company that could make an offer that's too good to refuse.
Yeah. I don't see it.
Here's
With,
my
like,
thing
the
is-
success of all of
Sorry.
Take-Two like stuff recently. Like like Red Dead Online not doing great, but Red Dead 2
Sure.
itself,
I mean, keep in mind, not doing great. We're saying it didn't meet expectations.
Right.
But here's the problem. Stick with me on this line of thinking.
Okay.
That is the problem. One of the most successful games of the year didn't meet our shareholder expectations.
Right.
Now Sony rolls up with a dump truck full of money, and these investors and board of directors are like, yeah, let's get a payment and let's get out. You know what I mean? Like, games are volatile, games are going down, blah, blah, blah. And meanwhile, Sony, whoever the business guy is like, yeah, and then behind the scenes, you hope everyone at PlayStation is like, oh my God, I hope we sell them on this. I hope we sell them this fucking lemon that they don't understand what they're about to do.
Huh. That's a good line of thought.
Right? I mean, we talk about how broken the industry is from a boardroom level of when you can put out a game that is a true masterpiece, a work of art. And I'm talking about Red Dead too, right? A game that I was like, ooh, not really for me. But I appreciate it and I understand what it's doing and I'm glad it exists and I'm glad a company did that. To put something out like that and then have the feedback be, didn't meet our expectations, stock dropped. Like, what? Like, because you're that short-sighted of like, you understand that GTA 6 will come one day.
Right.
And the stocks will soar through the roof. You know what I mean? And like, if they can't get that now, fuck them. That's why I said roof.
You say roof?
I do say roof.
Is that a?
I think it's a Chicago thing.
Yeah.
Maybe. It's also, I don't know if you've ever heard me talk in general. I'm a moron. Like, I don't know.
Alyssa says it as well, and she's from Hawaii, so I don't know if it's a regional
Oh,
thing.
well, Chicago and Hawaii, very similar dialects.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
Yeah. Gary,
Yes.
I can't wait to see how this rumor pans out. But it's still so far away.
That set you up for a good segue, didn't
I know,
it?
right?
Yeah.
If I wanted to know what was coming to the mom and grop shops today because it's more immediate, where would I go?
Oh shit! Yeah, because I don't have the paper.
Yeah, I know.
The
Make it up.
You think by now I would be off book on this, right? You think I would know this line? The official list of upcoming software across each and every platform, as listed by the Kind of Funny Games Daily Show hosts each and every weekday.
Yeah. Oh, we're having a great, long, lengthy show, so I'm actually going to insert the mail here, or the ad here, because reader mail has been inserted throughout the show. So I'm going to tell you before the games that were brought to you by Hims. Hims is a one-stop solution for men of all ages. 66% of men lose their hair by the age 35, and the thing is, once you start to notice hair loss, it's too late. It's easier to keep the hair you have and then replace the hair you've lost. That's why you should be like Nick and Andy and go to forhims.com, a one-stop shop for hair loss, skincare, sexual wellness, and more for men. Thanks to science, baldness can be optional. Hims connects you with real doctors and medical-grade solutions to treat hair loss. These are well-known generic equivalents to name-brand prescriptions to help you keep your hair. There's no snake oil pills or gas station counter supplements. These are prescription solutions backed by science. No waiting room, no awkward in-person doctor visits. Save hours by going to forhims.com, just like Andy and Nick did. They went online, talked to a doctor, sent in some photos, and got matched with the prescriptions to help fight their thinning hair. Order now. My listeners get a trial month of Hims for just $5 today, right now, while supplies last. See the website for full details. This would cost hundreds if you went to a doctor or pharmacy. Go to forhims.com/gamesdaily. That's FORHIMS.com/gamesdaily. For Hims. They don't have a slogan for me to say after I say their name again. Out today, Rico is on Xbox. Baba Is You is on PC and Switch. The Arc Slinger is on PlayStation VR. Junkyard Wizard is on Steam VR. And Cubicity, maybe it's Cubicity? Slide Puzzles on PC and Mac. God bless you. More stuff from the Xbox thing they announced in new dates for you. On April 4th now, Xbox Game Pass members will get Minecraft. That's right, Minecraft coming to Xbox Game Pass April 4th. Don't cry, Kev. Also, Xbox is getting a new wireless controller, the Phantom White Special Edition.
Oh, I saw that. I saw a picture of it. It looks really pretty.
Yeah, it's like at the top. It's
Like,
kind of see-through.
kinda half see-through, yeah.
It's coming out April 2nd worldwide for $70. Devolver Digital's Tycoon Sim Weedcraft Incorporated is coming up on April 11th on PC. Dauntless is welcoming a new behemoth and a hunt pass for season 3 today. Leisure Suit Larry, Wet Dreams Don't Dry will hit PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch early summer 2019. Symmetry is launching on Switch March 19th, 2019. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker is getting special DLC. It's coming to the game on March 14th. Conquer the VR Battlefield in Skyworld. It's out on PlayStation VR March 26th. Project XCloud public trials are later this year. I said that already. And then during the Xbox segment, they dated that State of Decay 2 update called Choose Your Own Apocalypse. That's coming out March 26th as well. I'm still rocked. What a weird world we will live in if Sony buys 2K. It can't happen. It can't happen. Take-Two, sorry. It can't happen. Right?
No,
that's too crazy.
It's not happening.
It's as crazy as skipping E3. It's crazy.
Did that,
I know. The rules are off. I don't know what's happening. They're turning somebody's just flipping all the switches in the simulation.
It would be big.
It's been normal for decades, and now it's all fucking crazy over here. Oh my god, I don't know what to do. I'll give you one reader mail and we'll move on. Style65 wrote into patreon.com/kindoffunnygames and says, "Hi Greg and Gary, happy Widow Wednesday. Following on last week's all-digital conversation, I wanted to put my thoughts in. I, too, would prefer to be all-digital, but this week I was able to buy the Division 2 Gold Edition for $15 cheaper on Amazon UK rather than downloading it from the PSN. 6 weeks before Anthem came out, a website ran a weekend offer where you could pre-order it for $33. I'm saying dollars, they're pounds. 33 instead of the 33, which was $20 less than it was on PSN. Now, I agree that not everyone has decent internet, but when retail is still substantially cheaper than digital most of the time, it's not about download speeds, rather than where I get the game I want for the best price. When we do get to an all-digital future, people say that digital prices will fall, like we saw on PC. But with consoles only having one storefront, what incentive does the console manufacturer have to actually lower the prices on their games? Thanks, Style65.
I think that's a very good point. After the last conversation we had about this, digital versus physical discs, I got a tweet from someone in Australia who said
I'm stealing the Kind of Funny corporate card, ain't I?
Oh, wow. I thought your English accent was bad. That's even worse.
They're the same.
That's just terrible.
Yeah.
Have you ever had Alana on this show? She would be appalled.
Yeah, it's weird. She doesn't talk to me that much.
I can see why. Now, the tweet from the Australian person was basically on the lines of, I still prefer to buy discs because here in Australia, and as I'm sure you've heard, game prices in Australia are outrageous.
Oh, I went to a store there. I was like, oh my god.
He mentioned that on the digital stores, the games are always full MSRP. But if you get a physical disc, you can shop around and get a deal. Sure. And they're often much cheaper. That's actually a really good point we didn't touch on last time. If games go all digital and the only way you can buy a game is from the PSN store or the Xbox store or whatever, you're basically going to be locked into a monopolistic kind of situation where there's no incentive for them to discount the game or do special offers because there's no competition.
Sure.
At least when games are on physical discs and Amazon and GameStop and any number of mom and pop stores are selling the game, you can shop around and get a deal like this guy just got with Division 2.
Sure.
If you can only ever buy the game from the official online store, you're going to be locked in. What incentive would they ever have to discount the games?
So it's a multifaceted argument that we definitely don't have it cracked. Don't get me wrong. But I do think that then the competition would become so much of, if it's all digital now, then the competition does become, okay, it is Steam versus PSN versus Xbox, right? And so if Xbox is going to put it up, if Division 3 up for $5, $10, $15 cheaper, then PlayStation has to worry about that and match that to some extent, right?
No, not if they're on different formats. Because I'm not going to say, well, I would much rather play. My preferred, like for example, I'm not playing as much. I love PC gaming and I have a gaming PC, but I chose to get the Division 2 for the Xbox because I want to play in the living room on a big screen and with a controller, and that's how I enjoy playing.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna change that decision and switch over to PC just because it's $5 cheaper on Steam. The point I'm making is on one given platform, whether it be, let's say on PlayStation, right now you've got a choice to buy the Division or Anthem or whatever digitally via their store for what is likely full price, or maybe shop around and find a deal on Amazon or GameStop or anywhere else. Once the physical discs go away and those other retailers go away, it's buy it from us or fuck you. I don't think people are going to jump formats to get a deal. They're going to be stuck with, because remember, most people don't have multiple platforms. Sure. They've got a PlayStation or an Xbox or a PC, and that's what they have.
Yeah. So
if it comes down to you can only buy the game from one place, I do think you're going to see a lot of discounts go away.
So, but stay with me on this then. What about the argument of, well, this already happened on Steam and we didn't see that, right? Like when we say that games will be cheaper when we live in an all digital future, blah blah blah, there's still going to be a benchmark for what I assume a AAA games cost. But it's that argument that suddenly you can explore this scale and be like, well, now that everything's digital, we see people buying like how the 99-cent games were a huge deal in the beginning of the App Store, right? It'll be the fact that I'm a small indie and I made a 5-hour game, and right now, for the most part, that means I'm going to be like $15 on everybody else's store, right? I feel like that's competitive. That's where it is. But if you're making smaller games, you can start putting them up if people understand that price doesn't equate to quality or whatever, for $5, $1, and then you'll start seeing that scale move around that way. And then on Steam, right, that's happened where now it's up, and Steam was, I guess, pretty much the only place to buy PC games, right? Obviously GOG, obviously Origin. There's different things that have cropped up, but Steam was running away with it. But Steam still did the Steam sales and the Steam discounts. I feel like I'm talking on my ass, as we get into this really competitive future, right, you would have it where, all right, cool, Xbox and PlayStation are competing for who wants to be there. So maybe now a PlayStation Plus membership means even more of discounts. Xbox Live Games with Gold gets a different kind of discount.
You're still going to see discounts, even if you are in a monopoly where, like, let's say physical discs go away and there's only the PlayStation store, there's only the Xbox store. They're still going to do deals, they're still going to do discounts, but they're going to be much less incentivized to do so because there's no competition.
Sure, but I just argue. Well, here, so stick with me. So if you don't buy an argument between the stores, Xbox to PlayStation, right? What about in Amazon or Walmart selling the codes online? And I don't know.
They already do that.
I know, right? And so would you be able to? To get you to go to that? Would they be giving you a discount there? Would we see? Think about the one thing that we're putting in here, right? The discounts you're seeing in the physical stores, the discounts you did see for a long time with Amazon's pre-order thing, where it was like, you get it cheaper and day-to-day and all this stuff included, or 20% off or whatever it was. All that is because of the competition, and it was the business model changing, and it was someone realizing they were behind and trying to come and take it over, right? And try to get back to first place. I still feel I don't think, and maybe I'm totally talking out my ass here, I don't think the video game future, an all digital future, is ever going to get to the point where there is this monopoly, where there is no other option to buy. I still think physical games are going to be around a long time. Like, I think it's going to go down to being like vinyl, where it's like,
it'll be a while before physical discs are gone.
But I even with that said, I don't think you're going to get to a monopoly where there is only one portal to get your game somehow.
You're right. No, as you rightly point out, Amazon and the GameStop physical stores will probably go away at some point. GameStop is so primed to be the next Blockbuster or Tower Records. They're obviously moving in that direction. They'll probably move to some kind of online only model. You're right. There's still competition in being able to sell digital codes. Amazon could still offer you a better deal on a digital code, even if physical discs go away. But there would still be a lot less competition because a lot of the competition exists in. It's not like you're going to go to mom and pop game store and get a great deal on the Division. They probably are. They're still selling the game at full price. It's the larger companies like Amazon that can afford to offer you deals on codes and discs. But it's worth thinking about. Again, we live in such an ivory tower, Greg. People just give us codes for games. When is the last time you spent money on a video game?
Oh, that's not a good question. It was just a month and a half
was
ago,
a little
2
while
months
ago?
Yeah, and then I'm buying Division for a friend anyway. Like if I like the game, and I've bought it for. Well, it doesn't matter. But
for the most part,
for the majority of the hundreds of games I play a year, I don't pay for.
For the most part, we are insulated from the real gamer experience of
100%.
shopping around for a deal on a game because we don't have money to throw around, or we're getting free shit, and so it's often it's easy to forget that like this is from the majority of gamers, this is a real issue.
It's a great and thank you for writing in. That is the thing is I don't buy the argument some people make, and I hope I show it, and I don't mean it like an aggressive way, that I don't understand what $60 means to somebody anymore. But it is a good thing that I haven't thought about looking at the circulars or looking online or comparing offers in a long, long time, right?
Yeah.
Because for me personally, and this is again privileged ivory tower stuff, but also just who I am. It's when I do buy a game, even when I am buying the game, I'm buying it digitally because I like the convenience of I have a PlayStation on my desk, 2 at home. One over here. Like I like the idea. I don't have to bring the disc to all those different places.
Yeah, I just installed the Division. I've got a regular Xbox One S down in my bedroom.
Right.
And occasionally, if it's not convenient for me to play the game in the living room, go downstairs. It's all saves are all in the cloud. You just jump back and forth, and you don't have to worry about shit, the disc's in the wrong fucking console.
Exactly.
I like that convenience.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to squad up. This is where one of you writes in to kindoffunny.com/ Sorry, I was going to sneeze and I'm not going to. Patreon. You can go there and click over to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames where you can give us your name, username, platform of choice, and why you need help in a video game. Today, Jonathan Dixon needs help on Xbox. His Xbox name is ZombieJonDixon, Jon, all spaces between that. ZombieJonDixon says, Xbox agents unite! Don't you dare close this PlayStation, Greg Miller. Xbox best friends who want to team up to save DC in the Division 2. Search for the clan Kinda Funny Division Agents.
I'm in that clan. Oh, wait, hold on. That's a different one.
They're already happening.
I joined one that's just called Kinda Funny.
You got to you nailed it. This guy came late to the party apparently, but there's another one. So
you said there's gonna be multiple clans.
Exactly. So this is the one from ZombieJonDixon, which apparently is not broken up. It's all one word in the second part here. We are here for you, Gary Whitta, in case your other Kinda Funny one doesn't work out.
Okay.
Have you been promoted to a lieutenant there?
No, but maybe I should insist on that.
There you go. If you don't get it, walk over. Use the competition to your advantage.
Yeah.
We ask people watching live on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames to go to kindoffunny.com/you're wrong and tell us what we screw up as we screw it up.
Is there a PlayStation clan yet? Did you set one up?
Oh yeah, I'm the commander.
Yeah, that's right. You just said you're the guy, right? Okay. Is that full up yet?
No. Well, right now there's 4 people.
Okay.
So we need.
Why aren't there more people? There's more people in the Xbox clan.
I made it invite only. I didn't want. You know what I mean? Okay. I didn't want to push my lifeboat out there. Have all these Titanic people coming on.
So are you going to fill it up just with like your high-powered celebrity friends?
That's what I wanted to. No, because the celebrity friends won't be around long. Not to mention, don't have any celebrity friends. So we got to figure out what we want to do. I feel like we need to come up with requirements. You know what I mean?
What's going to be a requirement?
I don't know. I need to talk to my recruit.
I saw Steve Odd playing, and it's like he should definitely go in.
100%. Cameron, it was on last night. I saw, and he had actually requested it. Like, of course, he should be in. He helped me do my Division Platinum. You know what I mean? Bunch of different stuff. We'll get to that later. Whatever. We'll figure it out. Your wrongs. Krajuki said, Just Cause 4 came to Game Pass in March, about a month. He says, Wiggly, a few months after its release. Not same, but fairly quickly. True. Lord of Pwn says, PlayStation has indeed published games on Steam. Everyone's Gone to the Rapture, Guns Up, and Helldivers. I forgot. I knew that those had existed, but I forgot which one. Thank you.
But not for Xbox.
No, and I do think that's a different thing. I do think that's a completely different ball of wax. Nanobiologist says, we missed a new date. Assassin's Creed is getting free DLC. The Lost Tales of Greece story, a friend worth dying for on March 26th. Omega Archetype says PC has many outlets to purchase digital games, many of which you can find games at a discount, pre-release discounts even, as well as regular Steam-like sales. Green Man Gaming, Humble Bundle Store, Fanatical are great examples. We alluded to those. Thank you for naming them. I don't know how that would play out with consoles and stuff like that. And then Zaire says, here's the deal of the day for you. From Best Buy's online store, you can buy Persona 5 and Detroit Become Human for $20. Both
Detroit for $20 is a great deal. I enjoyed that game.
Look at that shade on Persona 5 Gary's throwing to get Barrett mad at him.
No, everybody knows how much I love Persona 5.
Sure.
Have you beaten it?
Yeah,
yet?
you beaten it?
I still haven't beaten it.
Well,
and I'm never going to... Look, I've just given... I'm never going to get back to it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Kinda Funny Games Daily, each and every weekday on the variety of platforms. We run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about, even as it breaks. If you like that, be part of the show. Patreon.com/KindaFunnyGames. Watch it live. Twitch.tv/KindaFunnyGames. Watch it later. YouTube.com/KindaFunnyGames or RoosterTeeth.com. Listen on podcast services around the globe. Tomorrow's host is going to be O'Neal J. Johnson, a Twitch streamer who seems cool, and Friday it'll be Steve Saylor. Until next time, be safe out there, agents. Because the Division. We like Division a lot.
Division,
Yeah. Pleasure to serve you.